morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Coffee with Jim and James. James, on a very serious note, I was able to attend the NACE Central Area Conference in Kansas City last week.
I heard that. Out in the wild.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was wonderful. And being there, getting to know a lot of our AMP friends, my wife, Tammy Bomia, and Brad Malcolm, are co-chairs of the special topic committee for what's called the short course. And I am still learning a lot about that industry. And Brad introduced me to Josh, and we had a conversation. And it was just one of those things where Jane Brown or somebody said, you guys should be on Coffee with Jim and James to get a little, education and exposure about that. So hence, that's where we are today. And I will say that I learned a lot in the pre-show today. So I'm excited to dive into our guest. But James, how are you doing today?
I'm well. Good. Happy to be here. Just met Josh in the pre-show. It's always cool when you get to meet someone that probably you'll meet out in the wild world, as you described earlier. So Josh, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm awesome. Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I really do appreciate this. This is awesome.
You bet.
And I've heard a lot of good things. You guys have a lot of viewers, and it's really cool that you guys are doing this thing. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a different show. Josh, you're thinking of a different show. In full disclosure, Josh said he's way better in person. So he set the bar really low for himself as we had the pre-show. He said, I don't know if I'll translate as well virtually. So we're gonna audit him after this. We'll see how it goes.
So you're just preparing everybody for my stiffness right now. Got it.
No, he said he only has two or three. Josh said he only has a couple of jokes, but it works out well this way because everyone will think you're, the funniest man alive.
I honestly, I do. I have the funniest corrosion joke ever in the history of cathodic protection. Now it might
clean?
be because it's the only corrosion joke that exists, but let's not get into that.
We can't not hear the joke now.
Come on,
clean? Is it clean enough for our audience?
Yeah.
No, definitely not. No. No. Okay. So I have to think about it.
Trying to think of how to make it clean, I think.
Yeah, think about how to make it clean. No, it's good. It's a good joke. But I felt like we built it up too much. So
okay.
maybe we should do something because I've got nowhere to go.
Listen, Josh, we're not going to do
nowhere. Okay.
We're going to put it in the comments afterwards, and we'll let everybody decide whether it was funny.
Okay. So we've got an anode and a cathode. They're walking down the street, and the cathode looks down. No, sorry, the anode. The anode looks down at the cathode and said, "Hey, you dropped an electrolyte there. Are you sure?" "Yeah, I'm positive."
Oh. My son.
Anode's positive, pipes negative. Okay. So
I
find that if you explain a joke, it makes it that much better, right?
It does. My son believes that. That's right up his alley. He's a dad joke kind of guy. And that one definitely fell in that category. Well, Josh, welcome to the show. Thank you, sir. And I'm gonna bow out of this one a little bit. I'll come back in when I have value, but I feel like this is a Jim special.
Well, it's kind of my world, and I'm learning more about it. And I have to tell you, living with a AMP NACE coatings inspector, Tammy is, and she's been that way for years. She's always mentioned Purdue Short Course and things like that. She's also mentioned Morgantown and such like that. And I've never been there, but I've heard about it. So Josh, would you do us a favor? Give us a high level flyover about yourself, but also about the short course and what's coming up.
Yeah, sure. I won't talk about myself too much. That gets kind of boring. But so I started in the corrosion industry in 1995. So that puts me at 25 years or so doing this. Always on the consulting side, dealing with mostly integrity management and whatnot. So I have been here at Integrity Solutions for just shy of 10 years now. We keep on offering more and more services. Started a company with 4 of us, and we're growing to just under 60 people now or something like that. So it's certainly been a fun ride, and Okay, so the short course. This is the officially is the Underground Corrosion Short Course, and we're usually at Purdue University. We've always been affiliated with Purdue. We're still affiliated with Purdue. We have a lot of the people there and the staff that help us do a lot of outreach. It's a lot of fun. So the course is August 31st through September 3rd, September 2nd. I'm sorry.
Coming up.
Yeah, coming right up. Couple weeks here. Normally we have this the last week in February, but with the zombie apocalypse, we ended up it felt like we were kind of dead man walking, waiting for this thing to finally just wait till the last minute before we cancel it. And then we had the idea, hey, let's push it back and maybe we can do something. So it's certainly been a scramble. Now the university has a lot of protocols and whatnot, and they're really hesitant to work with outside entities and things like that because of all the COVID restrictions. So we actually moved this. We're normally in Lafayette, Indiana, but we've moved it to Fort Wayne, which is just, about an hour and a half, 2 hours east of there. So Fort Wayne, Indiana, and it's at the Grand Wayne Convention Center,
Okay.
which is a real conference center. So instead of working and winding our way through campus and all that, we have a real convention center. So we're really, really excited about that this year. The course starts Tuesday, and there's a couple things that go on that Tuesday, but it's really informal. We have a hands-on section where it's just ad hoc. People can walk in whenever they want. We have it open for about 3 hours there, and we'll have teach people how to hang a rectifier or interrupter on a rectifier, how to read a bond. We have a bunch of different anode materials so they can pick them up and play with them. Maybe take a UT or a pit depth measurement gauge, just a lot of things. And there's really just a lot of good people in there with a lot of experience explaining things, and a lot of really good sidebar conversations happening there. There'll be people that are kind of afraid to ask, or what's going on, or how do you do that. So we'll have just a lot of people that are familiar with this, years of experience, kind of standing back, looking, pretending like they don't know what's going on, and then they'll start talking, and then then they learn more, and then they get excited, and then they finally grab onto the stuff, put their hands on it, play with it, see how the instruments work. It's a lot of fun. It really is. After that, we have a roundtable discussion where you can ask any corrosion or cathodic protection related question that you want. I guess you could ask anything, but usually they only ask about cathodic protection because they're a bunch of geeky engineers, I suppose.
Wait a minute. Let me jump in here while you're having a drink. So
now I just offended all the engineers. That's bad. That's bad.
No. After leaving the NACE event, the Central Area Conference last week, I said to a few people, I'm like, man, my brain hurts. I said, I've been around brainiacs for 3 days. And again, very smart people. And the conversations are, a lot of the conversations I engage with in the industry may be OQ compliance, but also on the operation side because of my history. Grids, meter sets, service lines, digging, all those things. And then last week was like, your anode, people are, going, well, this anode, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there going, wow, okay.
Yeah.
This is
Exactly. So we get into the course, okay. After the roundtable and everything like that, the next day there's a great big vendor show, a lot of people, a lot of networking, a lot of fun, a lot of energy. It's just really, really exciting place to go. And then we get into a structure class, and I took some notes because I forget. We offer so many tracks. So we start with this practical applications course that really the intent of this was to have people that corrosion or cathodic protection is not their first job. Maybe they're at accounting, or they do something else that's not exactly this, and they want to learn all the jargon and know and understand what goes on. So we got a day and a half of that. So it's really, really kind of cool. Then we have your basic, intermediate, advanced, and those are designed for your technicians that, CP is their main duty, their main job, and it helps prepare them, to pass CP1 and pass CP2. The advanced class is really a lot more design heavy. So we get in there and we actually show these people how to design ground beds and talk about soil resistivity, a lot of good things. We have a coding section. We have special topics and integrity management. So these are just hot topics in the industry, right? special topics deals with everything, and then pipeline integrity deals with specifically just stuff with the integrity management. Last but not least, we have the internal section, which your buddy Jane Brown teaches. She's wonderful with that. Get a lot of people in there. That's probably the newest class. Now this year, hard getting a lot of speakers last minute and whatnot. So that class is only going to happen on Wednesday. We're not going to do that for the half day on Thursday. Yeah.
I got an inside tip that, again, a shout out to Brad and Tammy with that special topics track. George Regula is going to be talking about cure in place liners. They talk about MMT being leaders in material verification. Chris from Seal for Life is going to be there, understanding more about linear anodes. So I've been getting some hot off the press communication in regards to this. So some great things coming up for that. So,
yeah, it's certainly really exciting. Then after that, we have, that second, so we have 2 vendor shows. So that day after the first classes, there's a great big vendor show. Again, a lot of fun. And then the second day, we wrap up. There's a test at the end. So, one thing that we kind of took to heart here is a lot of these people that work, especially like the technicians, sometimes their compensation and movement in the company is related to how many certifications they get.
Yeah.
So we felt really compelled, to try and have this with so many of them being canceled. This way they can come in, they can get that certification and hopefully move on in their career, which is really good and really exciting for us because, all of us really, it's all volunteer. We don't get paid for this. So there's just kind of a passion to teach and share what you learned, right? That's kind of what we do as human beings, right? Just pass it on, Yeah.
That's awesome. Josh, to build on that a little bit, who, in your opinion, who needs to be there? Who, we're talking to our audience, who would benefit from the short course and, what's kind of your charge there to get them there?
Yeah, so really this deals with everybody. If you're in this industry, you can come here. We've created something for you. If you're a guy that just deals with atmospheric, there's that coding section. The internal and external people, a lot of the things you talked about earlier, I have no idea what you said with that first person that's speaking. I don't know anything about internal. I know that there is an inside to the pipe. Okay, that's where my knowledge stops with internal corrosion. That's why we bring people like Jane in. So maybe one year you want to learn about something like that. But then we have that your technicians to come into your structure to learn about everything, and then of course management, accounting, whatever. Anybody that they can come in to take that fundamentals, that practical applications. That's just, it's good. And if you're in high level management and want to make decisions on who my next vendor is or who my next supplier is, there's that vendor show. It just has everybody. We usually have right around 50 or more. And it's just a really good time, good chance to meet people, learn about new products in the industry, and always make new contacts, which is just what this is all about.
That's cool. I was just thinking, Jimmy, we need to get with Josh about, maybe offering our soft skills, at a short course in the future or something like
great
that.
idea.
It's a great skill. We have a full day course on soft skills. So Josh, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
And not to give a shameless plug to you guys or anything like that, but
we're open. We're open to shameless plug. We take money too.
Money. Oh, okay. Whatever. Yeah, I like that. So we looked at trying to do something with OQ at one point, and because there's so many different agencies out there, and some companies have some specific requirements. We never really got around to doing it, never really found a sponsor. So right here in front of all your viewers, maybe you can get involved, do something like that. And that could be a good draw, right? Because these guys have this general certificate, exactly, right? But they could come in and maybe they could get some operator qualification, take that to the next level. And that brings people. And now the other thing, I should probably know this, but this course is cheap. I mean, super, super cheap. I think our registration is like $150.
Wait a minute.
So
wait a minute.
It costs nothing to come here.
For the short course, you're saying the registration is about $150.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we'll probably get some links or whatever built into it. But where do they go? I assume online. They're gonna register online. Where would they go, real briefly?
Yeah, definitely go on the line, and you can find it.
on the Googles.
corrosionshortcourse.com.
corrosionshortcourse.com.
Yep, one word.
I like
Simple,
it.
easy.
Okay.
Really short.
Perfect.
Really short. Yeah.
Oh, hence the short
Get it.
course.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh, man.
Maybe
Man,
that's
we're
the
pros.
best corrosion joke now. I don't know. You gave me a run for my money.
You stole Josh's moment.
I know.
Josh, we've been doing something neat to kind of wrap up the shows.
Yep.
Okay.
And we want to do the same with you. Josh, you've got the floor within reason. You have the floor to take us out. What's one thing you want to share, one word, whatever, about the short course at Purdue? It's very on the spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
One word, one thought. What do you want to leave our audience with?
Networking. How about that?
Good.
That's kind of corporate too. I tell you what, the best part about this is the opportunity to meet people that have experiences. If you've got this problem or you're just curious, I mean, there are so many people, and chances are, if you come up to me and ask me something like, say, hey, I've got a question about internal blah, 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 blah. I'm going to say, I got no idea. But come here, follow me. I'm going to take you over here to Jane Brown because she knows everything about that, and she's going to answer that. And if she's like, oh, I dealt with that project one time that dealt with this thing on with blah, blah, blah. Come here. I'll take you over to him, and then we can all talk about it together. Which is that's how this stuff happens, and it's fantastic. And then you've got these three people, all contacts, you've met them. You can call them up in future years and say, hey, I met you at the short course.
Yep.
I had a question about
be
this,
on your podcast,
or can you give me a recommendation for a job, or anything,
Can I be on your podcast?
Yeah.
Right.
Can Josh, I saw how awesome you were on.
Can you do stand up at my?
Can you introduce me to those guys? Because I want to be on their show because I see what it did for your career, and now I want them to do the same for me. Right?
Sure. It happens all the time around here.
Yeah.
You'll book your next stand-up
You're
gig.
kingmakers, right?
Yeah.
Well, James,
well, we'll see what you guys can do for me.
Well, we're gonna see. And
we know tens of viewers that watch our show.
we're now at 11, James. We're now at 11 because we got.
Now my mom
anyone
said she
else-
was going to tune in, so you got 12. This is going to be awesome.
I will say this, Jim. Do you ever feel like here lately we've been on the Jane Brown show?
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out. I'm glad she is a follower and a listener and a supporter of the show. Because if not, it feels like we would have the whole world against us. So thank you, Jane Brown, for your advocacy.
Thank you, Jane Brown. And let's be realistic. Everything that Josh just mentioned happened last week at NACE. Right. Jane being that cog and me being that cog of liking to connect the dots. Jane saying, hey, you should talk to these guys. And here's Brad and Tammy goes over here to Josh and Josh, and here we are today. And it's a really true example, Josh and Jane, we live it and breathe it every day, that things happen in our industries, I'll call them, through relationships and networks.
Absolutely,
and they are absolutely critical, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what you're saying, Jim, is that joke that Josh told was Jane's fault, really and truly.
Wait, you mean?
I'm just kidding. That was the best corrosion joke I've ever heard. I mean, I'll be honest.
You're positive. That was good though. I'm going to try to get that one done.
No, I think that right there was the worst joke of the day. Yeah.
Oh.
Does that qualify as a joke? I don't even know if it gets.
I can't wait to see
the humor of some sort. So
I can't wait to see the comments. Please, people, comment on that joke.
And if you know any other corrosion jokes, please share them, because
absolutely.
I think that's our job today.
Okay. Let's wrap this up. Josh, thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Absolutely.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah.
No, absolutely. We're glad to be partners and helping with the effort and get the word out. We absolutely are. We'll probably put a link in somewhere to that, but you want to give the website one more time, Josh? Be on the spot one more time.
www.corrosionshortcourse.com.
We got it.
That's where the editing comes in. You guys have to put that right there.
Oh, man. That makes so much more work. I wish you wouldn't have said that. Now we do have to.
Now you have to put it in there. Yeah.
Amy's going to kill us.
Now I want sparkles to come down with the words, right? So it's like it's glittering,
Oh
Yep.
boy.
and then it gets bigger. No, okay.
Yeah, do it. I mean, go. Just
I know I want to see all these graphics. Yeah.
Amy's awesome. She'll do it.
Josh,
Challenge accepted.
yeah, Amy, sorry, wasn't my idea. So blame James or Josh, not me. Anyways, Josh, thank you.
That
so
was
much.
on the sheet. You guys told me to do that, right?
Until next week on Coffee, Jim and James, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you gathered something out of this. And if it's applicable, please go to the short course. It's a great event. If it's anything like the NACE event that I attended, NACE, I'm sorry to say, or got to be correct with that, last week, it's going to be fantastic. I know that Tammy, my wife, has gone for years and has spoken for years, and she absolutely thinks it's incredibly valuable. So please do that. On behalf of Josh, James, and myself, we wish you all a great week. And please, as I think we all would say, stay safe. Take care. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.